Hi there, my name is Sue Dean, and I'm going to be talking about my internship at Whittier First Day. First thing they asked us to talk about is finding our internship and how did I find it? Well, let me give you a little background on that. After I joined the church about 10 years ago, I had my patriarchal blessing done, and it talked about my service in the community, which was such a great confirmation to me that I had been doing what I should be doing because this is something that I have done and do continue with each year, and that is doing service in the community. I sit on a couple of board of directors currently, and one of them is for Whittier First Day. I'm the vice chair. So this was a natural choice for me to go to this executive director there and ask if I could do my internship with them, and they were excited to have me, as excited as I was to work for them. It is Whittier First Day, again is the name of it, and it's a transitional housing and outreach for the homeless population in our area. Meaning we're not just a shelter. We help those, we have 45 beds, and we help those homeless in our area that want to remedy their homeless. Help them with housing, help them with all the forms and organizations and federal and governmental issues they have to deal with and where they can go for the help. It helps them find jobs and just learn how to get back into life, get their life skills back in order so they can go back into the mainstream. So again, I applied through the executive director and it started from there. So the responsibilities that I have as an intern, mostly the main one is to create and facilitate weekly workshops, at least once a week, sometimes more. These are workshops or kind of classes for the residents, and they cover such subjects as self-esteem, organizational skills, time management. We did vision boards the last couple of weeks. Where do they want to see themselves as they come through this program and as they come back into a normal life for them? And that was a great class. I did not realize how much they would enjoy it. One of the homeless ladies came to me later in tears saying how much it meant to her to have that piece of paper with things, words and pictures all cut out up by her bed, and she looks at it at night and in the morning, and it helps her focus on what she's trying to do to recover from homelessness. I've met with the staff individually and with the executive director many times. We're trying to work on organizing the staff in such a way that will be a benefit to the organization and help the executive director in many other areas, such as how they run their case management meeting and any things that I could see that might help them. One of the things that's a benefit to me is that I do have some experience. I'm not your typical age of a student. So I'm a little bit older and I've got more experience than the typical college student. So that's a benefit to the internship program I'm getting. Another thing that I've done as an intern is I attended many different meetings with the executive director, some with and some without. We've met with the local cities. One of the things we met about was a shower program. The local Salvation Army shower program was closed down. So we're trying to bring that back into the homeless community because in Whittier First Day, we don't just work with the homeless that live there. We do outreach. They go out into the community. They know almost every homeless in the area. And we have a health clinic that every Wednesday a doctor comes in and donates his time. And we have an on-staff nurse. So and we help those with housing and everything, the same things that we help the residents that live there, we help with the community outside of our residency. So with that, we were working on trying to start a shower program. So we met with the city asking, it was a mobile program like at a trailer, asking if we could park the trailer at different locations throughout the city. I've also been going to their meetings on what they call a Health Action Lab. It's a coalition of organizations that help the homeless in our community, and it was started by our two local largest medical facilities. And there's different sectors, and this sector is for the homeless and mental health. So I've been going to those meetings, and we're working to put a symposium together about case management in a couple of months, and I'm helping plan that. And then the recovery from homeless class. I've been going to that. There is someone that comes in from a local church, kind of from a 12-step program, and he meets with the residents there at Whittier First Day, and I've gone to that, as well as to their own case management meetings during the week. So, how did Whittier First Day benefit from me being their intern? The residents are in great need of something to do with their idle time. And me providing the classes has really helped that. They definitely need more, and they want more interns to come in and continue doing these classes. Again, as I mentioned before, I work with the executive director in the organization of the staff. We're literally working on the most recent organizational flow chart. How can we best um, make the best of the staff there and move people around? Spending time with the staff does provide insight and motivation for me to work with the executive director. One of the things we've learned is that there's a few staff members that were residents at Whittier First Day. At one time they were homeless, and they now have their own place, but they are also now paid staff. And that has caused a little bit of issues, and something that they're working with and I'm trying to help them work with. What I gained, oh, I gained so much from this internship. I thought I knew about homeless. I was on the board of directors, and I've worked with different nonprofit organizations for many years. But to work with them directly brought a whole new meaning to it. Now, you have to understand this is the environment of the homeless community that want to get back on their own. They don't want to be homeless. They want to get back into the mainstream and better their lives. There is a lot of homeless out in the community that like being homeless. The little tent cities, a lot of those people, that's their community. They don't want to change. But who I'm working with here at Whittier First Day are those that do want to change. And I've gotten to know them in such a deeper level. And a lot of them come to my classes regularly, some just now and again. I even go down and have lunch with them sometimes and just really get to know them. And they are such great people. We talk about how they became homeless and their background. Um, it was interesting for me to be able to separate the person from the label. That was, as I said here, priceless. The label of being homeless is people will avoid them, walk past them, don't see them. And it was so wonderful for me to be able to see this person inside and out, and in many different persons. And they are loving people. So my connection with the coursework and the experience I've had, a lot of it was in our classes getting to know the homeless and their family backgrounds. Some of their family backgrounds contributed to why they're homeless. Actually, most of them did. There are a few that don't, and they blame themselves. They have no one to blame. But we talked a lot about different things like attachment styles and what drew them to the wrong choices. Um, Case management is something that I've been learning in the coursework, and definitely case management is a big part of working in this organization. So there was several connections. Do I recommend Whittier First Day? Absolutely. It is a great organization for internship. They do regularly work with interns from the local colleges. Uh, Several of the interns they've hired on and kept. And they like this type of situation where the interns come in and they're getting a degree in social services or other related type of degrees, and they love it there at Whittier First Day as well, and it's a good match. It's a great opportunities for the resident and those staff classes. Like I said, we need more intake, people who interview the potential residents there. Outreach, as I said, we go out into the community and meet with the homeless. That's a great opportunity. Those that do that love it, but they can only do it for so long because they do get burnt out. And case management. We have a case manager that kind of oversees all of the case management, but every week, everyone that works with the residents comes together for a case management meeting. That is a great way for internships to learn a lot about this type of work. And then finally, if you want to intern at Whittier First Day, you would actually contact the executive director herself, Irene Moreau. She's a great lady. She is definitely hands-on, and they would love to have any of you as an intern. Thank you so much.